Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mindfully Modest Women podcast. Today we have another guest. Her name is Elisheva, and today she is going to be talking to us about her modesty journey and about just life in general and where she is today and where she hopes to be in the future. So, Elisheva, if you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Elisheva. I'm from Canada. Um, so I grew up in a modern Orthodox home, and the, I've always had the, I've always been able to express myself through the way that I dressed. So I've always had the opportunity to dress wearing pants or whatever, anything like that. And then I started dressing modestly around 3 years ago, and yeah, and things I like to do are going to the gym. I like to do anything fitness. I have an Instagram account where I post about fashion and all that.
That's cool. Okay, so explain a little bit more about the modern Orthodox for those who may not know or not familiar with it.
So it's basically just a normal Orthodox home. So it's the religious, we keep the Sabbath, we keep all the holidays like Passover, Hanukkah, and all those things. But it's a little bit more lenient, but still very religious. And another thing of modern Orthodox is where a lot of women, we still wear pants or you still wear sort of shorter skirts, not covering the knees and not covering the elbows, that type of thing.
Yeah, just a little background on that. Some people may not know about the differences within Judaism. Okay, so cool. Thank you for sharing that. So tell us a little bit about how you came to modesty, how you started this journey.
Yeah, so I went to a Jewish event around 3 years ago, and the advisors there, they all dressed very modest and they all very acted modest. They had they were very dignified and very kind people, and that really inspired me to start dressing modestly. And they helped me a lot. All the girls there, they helped me a lot with dressing modestly. They would take me shopping. They would help me on my journey and tell me to take it slow and all that stuff. And then 2 years ago, I started going to a summer camp that was very growth oriented, like a Jewish summer camp. And again, the counselors there were I looked up to them so much, and they helped me so much with my modesty journey. And I think all those women in my life helped me so much with wanting to dress modestly, and yeah, they taught me so much about modesty.
What's a
Yeah.
a specific thing that you feel that they taught you, or one thing that stood out the most about modesty?
Way that it was less about the way that they dressed and more the way that I remember they grew up in a very religious home, and they acted very modest. They were very humble. They were just good people. They were kind to everybody, and I just realized they didn't really care about what other people thought. And I really that's what it comes from the way that they dressed, I think also. That's what made me want to dress modestly. You don't need to dressing modestly is it comes from kind of inside, you know?
It definitely 100% starts within. What would you say modesty looks like to you? So you already kind of touched on it a little bit. It's not just about the way you dress. So what other areas do you experience modesty, or do you say you see that, modesty is within your life right now?
So, with the way you dress, for me personally, it's covering my elbows, knees, and collarbones, but for I know it's different for other people, and it depends where you are in your where you are in your journey, but for me, yeah, it's covering my elbows, knees, and collarbone. The way for speech, it's speaking with kindness, not saying lashon hara, gossiping, speaking kindly to everybody, no matter where they come from, no matter what they look like, no matter who they are, you need to be kind to them. That's what speaking modestly is for me. And behavior is not respecting everyone else, but also just respecting yourself and not lowering your standards for anybody, and making sure you have the right friends and the right relationships and all that.
I love hearing that. So do you feel like you've been changing in all three of those areas, or is there a certain area that you've been
Yeah,
struggling with, or
yeah, definitely. I think, especially with this modesty journey, I've come a lot closer to God, to HaShem, and it helped me so much with all of these different things. I stopped saying lashon hara so much. It used to be a very big challenge for me to not gossip, because that's something that most teenage girls do. It's to gossip, and I think once I started coming closer to God and being more modest, it helped me so much with that. And I think I've also managed to influence my friends to not speak badly, and of course I still slip up. Everyone's human, and of course I still make mistakes, but especially with gossip, I think I managed to almost stop.
It really does hurt more people than we realize. So that's good that you've been able to stop it, and then also you're influencing your friend group. That's great. How do you feel that modesty has changed you as a young lady?
Before I feel like I was very insecure and like always looking for outside influences and other people's opinions on the way that I looked, the way that I acted, and what to do. Like I would always ask other people, or I'd always just like care about what other people think about me. And now I feel like I'm a lot more confident and secure with myself. And I find happiness not just from like materialistic things like clothes. I find happiness from my friends or talking to God or even just being by myself and just thinking, like I don't find happiness from other people, just from other things. And I think I have like again with I feel like I've become so much stronger with God and my connection with God is so much closer after becoming modest. And I think that's definitely the way that it's changed me.
Okay, that's good. I love that. So you talk about your connection with God a lot, or with HaShem. So do you want to give us a little bit, uh, like a sneak peek maybe into how your connection with God has changed because of this?
I've had a lot more emunah, which means like belief in God, like, especially when I have really hard times, like, in school or with my friends or with my family, I've had a lot more belief that everything is gonna be okay, and that's, like I think that's one of the number 1 ways it's changed, and also, I remember when I was younger, I used to think that I didn't wanna be religious when I grew up, like, I didn't think I was gonna keep the Sabbath and, like, all the holidays, I never, like, thought I was gonna continue doing that when I was older. And again, when I started going to this summer camp, it completely changed everything for me. Like I realized that I wanted to start, being like actually being religious once I'm older, once I grow up. And yeah, I think that's way it's changed a lot for me. And I also started reading this book. It's called Living Amuna, like living with belief. And I read it every night and it helps me so much with my belief in God and my faith and all that.
Oh, who's the author?
I'm not sure, but it's called Living Amuna. It's by a rabbi.
I think
It's a very good book.
yeah, I think I've heard of it. That's why I'm like, "Who's the author?"
Yeah, it's a really popular book.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So any ladies out there, we should all get that book. So, would you encourage all young women and young girls to become more modest?
Definitely. I think to start slow, like even if you don't dress modestly right away, I think it's definitely it comes from the inside. You need to first start acting modest. You can't just dress modest. You need to start from the inside and start treating people with kindness if that's something you have trouble with, or you need to start like I feel like family is the most important thing. If you don't treat your own family with kindness or you have issues, connecting with your family, that's the number one place to start with your modesty journey. And then from there, you slowly start to implement more things like, I don't know, trying to wear a skirt more often or just trying to cover yourself a little bit more. And yeah, just start slow. And then you can slowly, gradually start dressing more modest. Yeah. But it all comes from within.
Yeah, I agree. So you did mention that, uh, about, like, within modern orthodoxy that, you could still wear pants or things like that. So, did you ever wear pants, or did you find it hard
Yeah.
transitioning from wearing pants to skirts and dresses?
Definitely. I mean, it depends what modern Orthodox home you come from, but I've always been able to wear what I want. I've always worn shorts and all those types of things. I wasn't very like not sneeze or not very modest. Like I just wore like jeans and stuff like that, but it was very hard, especially like you find such a cute outfit and then you realize, oh, it has a slit or oh, like there's like a hole in the back or something like that. Yeah, so it was really hard to like shop for sneeze or modest clothes once when I started my modesty journey. So again, I started very slow. Like I would start to wear skirts like only a couple of times a week. I would wear t-shirts. I didn't start covering my elbows or my collarbones until maybe last year, and I started fully being modest. Yeah, like last year. But yeah, it took me like 2 years to come to where I am now, and I still think that there's like a lot of room to grow. 'cause I still have, like, those types of issues sometimes, like, I'll be, like, at a store and then I'll get so discouraged because I can't find, like, modest clothing. It's very hard to find modest clothing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just gonna ask about that. I was gonna be like, where do you find some of your modest clothes? I know that there's a few like Instagram boutiques that I've seen or that I've talked to some of the other young ladies on my podcast episodes, and they told me about like Mia Mod. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where I get my skirts from. Yeah, a lot of them.
perfect. There we go. So, and there's so many more like modest companies I feel that are coming out now and catering to more young women. So hopefully we'll be able to have a lot more modest clothes in stores.
Yeah, I feel like there's a very big misconception that there isn't nice, modest clothing from Jewish brands especially, like, it's all very, like, simple and very, like, ugly, but I think that's very false. Now they've come up with so much modern but, like, beautiful clothes, like, Yakira Bella Fringe they have in Miami and in Toronto, and I think they also have it in New York. They have, like, so many nice stuff, so I would recommend shopping.
So what are your like what's your end goal or not the end goal, but like your goal with your modesty journey? How far do you want to go? Do you think you'd ever be fully like more like not ultra but more along the lines of how an fully orthodox would dress, or where do you think you would fall, or your goal is with your modesty?
So, I don't think there's ever, like, an end goal, like, I think there's always room to grow. If someone thinks they're done growing, that means that they're not even close because there's always, always, always room to grow. Um, I think that right now, I'm doing pretty good, like, I'm dressing the way that like, the way it says in the Torah, in the Bible, that's the way that according to the Bible that you're meant to dress, but of course it's different for everybody, but, I always still have issues, like, there's always, like, times where I wanna dress not modestly, or, like, I always have issues like that, or not being like, there's times where I'm not kind, or, like, I have small issues like that, but, yeah, there's always room to grow, and there's never room to there's no time to end. You always have to continue growing and continue doing more.
Love that. That is absolutely, you're right. You're right. So, as you keep going through your modesty journey, each day you'll learn something new. You might add a new whatever lesson that you learned about how to be modest in your behavior or your speech or the way that you're dressing. So, you are right. I like that. Right. What would you want to say to all the other young women and young girls on this journey?
I think it's a very hard journey, especially with, like, all the outside influence now to, like, show your body and to be comfort with your body and just to show it to everybody and, like, it doesn't mean anything and your body's not, like, important to just keep to yourself, but, it's very important to just, like, not show your body to everybody, and, of course, everyone has, like, different goals, but, yeah, I think that's like, the very big thing. And to take it step day by day, like, don't push yourself to do something very hard, like, take it day by day, do it very slowly, or else you're gonna end up going back and not doing your goal. I think yeah, so just take it very slow and you'll get to where you wanna be.
Well said. Awesome. So, if you weren't modest, do you think your life would be better or worse?
Definitely worse because there wouldn't be any growth. I think that before I was modest, I was just stuck. I was just where I was. There was no I don't know, I just never was motivated to do anything, especially with my Judaism. I just wasn't motivated. Like I was always religious. I've always kept the Sabbath and all that stuff, but like I wasn't motivated to keep it. Like it was just whatever, like all that type of all that type of stuff. But yeah, also modesty strengthened all my friendships, my relationships with my family, and like HaShem, all that stuff. I think if I didn't have modesty, like, I don't even think that I don't know, I just think that modesty really, really changed everything for me.
Yeah. So, do you feel like if you weren't to like after you went to the Jewish event, and if you had decided not to take up more modesty, do you think that you would that you would have just s- veered more away from like your Judaism and your true essence, or do you think at some point maybe you would have still come back even without the modesty, or how would you see that?
Um, Honestly, if I didn't go to that event, I think it would be very different. I still think that I would have come to Modesty eventually, but it would have been very different. I feel like it would have taken me much longer and
Your parents should be so proud. So,
yeah.
the one of my bonus questions that I usually ask, how you would feel or how you think dating would be once you start dating, or if you are dating with the matchmaker or things like that, um, while you're modest, and then we kind of compare it to like if you weren't modest and that dating world versus being modest dating world.
I think in my community and a lot of people that I'm friends with, it's very common for them to just to talk to boys for attention. Obviously, it's normal because that's just how teenagers are, but I'm really happy because I don't really think I'm like that. When I start dating, I'm gonna be a lot older. I think I'm gonna be it's gonna be like after high school definitely, and I don't want to take the route of just like doing it myself. I probably do want to do a matchmaker because I think that it's less personal and you're less like connected to the person before you meet. If you do a matchmaker, you're not you know that the person is a good person for you because the matchmaker picked the person based on your personality. If it's some random person, you might get sucked in with someone that's not right for you. And I see that a lot in my community, a lot with people that I'm friends with, that they just date someone because they just want someone they want that outside like confidence because they can't find the confidence within themselves. So they date people just so they can find love with other people when they can't love themselves. I know a lot of people that have met their like soulmate without a matchmaker. I just think it's something that I would want to do. I mean, I don't know yet because it's in a very long time, but
Yeah, okay. So, do y'all usually wait until you're about 18?
I mean, so 18 is when you graduate, and then seminary, which is like a program that not everybody does, but a lot of women do, which is it's like a year long and you spend it. It can either be in Israel or like or anywhere, the States, anywhere, and it's just like a year where you connect with God and you learn a lot about Judaism. And not everyone does it, but I would recommend doing it
Okay.
to a lot to the women in this podcast. And then the year after that, that's when usually people start matchmaking around 19. But I'm not really sure I'm gonna do that. I might wait till like I'm a little bit older, but yeah.
Okay. So, would you do seminary? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
It's amazing to be able to hear young people, speak with such passion and wisdom, and just amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so now if you would like to let the audience know about a little bit more about your Instagram page that you have been working on and any other things or any social media handles that you want to tell them so they can be able to follow you on your journey.
Yeah, so I'm just on Instagram. I post modest fashion, but I also post a lot of like ways to like, connect to Judaism and kind of just connect to yourself also and how to like start dressing modestly because that's a very hard thing to start doing. So I post a lot of things like that, a lot of motivational content too. So yeah. Do you want me to say the Instagram handle?
Yeah, you can say it.
It's Modern Style, MODENCE, and then style. Oh yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. And then did you have any last words to say to our audience before we close out this episode today?
Yeah, just if you got whoever's listening, if you guys dress modestly, just again, like take it slowly. Don't rush. Like you see all these people on Instagram and all and on social media, like all like completely ahead of you, but that doesn't mean that you're behind. It just means that you just need to take it slowly and continue working on it, and you'll get to your goal wherever you want to be. Even if it's not modesty, if it's something else, then yeah, just keep working at it, and you'll get.
This was great. It was nice getting to speak with
Thank
you
you so much.
and meet you throughout this time that we've met each other through Instagram. I'd like to know where you'd be in the future. So keep me in your you know, in your bookmarks. I'll be reaching back out.